Okay, I want to start going deep into the subject, and we'll talk about rules and why we need rules. What are the reasons we need rules? There's 5 reasons we need rules. The first being so we know how to behave in a certain situation and how others will behave in a certain situation. Okay, we need this predictability. We need this certainty, this security that, this is how I behave. For example, if the bell goes at school, I know it's break time and I know I can go and get something to eat, or if somebody puts their hand up, the teacher, like me, knows that they want to ask a question and I can ask them, etc. So we've got this way of disciplining our behaviour so we can understand what we should do and what the others will do too, and what they want if they give a signal like putting your hand up. So really important this. Without the rules, it would be chaos and we would feel very insecure because we don't know whether somebody would suddenly do something crazy or if I want something to eat, I just leave the lesson or everybody shouts at once. It wouldn't work and it would feel very insecure. Rules make us feel secure. Too many rules make us feel like we're in a cage and too restricted. So we need the balance. We need to feel secure, so we need to know what we should do and what the others are, how the others are going to behave, but not too much control. So that's the first reason. The next reason is we need things to function in a certain way. The country, Italy, is all pulling together in one direction towards progress. We all want the pill to increase and people's living standards to get better and to have research, etc. So we need rules so things function in a certain way. Even the students in school are all working towards this. They're all trying to improve so they can make a contribution to Italy and to the economy and to the life, etc. So by having rules that we must go to school, we must study this, etc., it enables us to make things function in a certain way so we all pull towards progress and towards improvement of our lives. And then you've got the disciplining of relationships between people. So I know my rights and I know my duties and I know the other people's rights and duties. Without that, it's very difficult to know how I should behave towards other people. But it makes it very clear in having rules to tell me how I should relate to other people. You could say, we know in that way, we know who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Because, if there's no rule, it's just philosophy. If I steal something, I could say, hey, I don't believe in private property. I believe in everything's public. It shouldn't be private. I can justify myself always. But if there's a rule that says I must not steal, obviously, automatically, I know I'm wrong and he's right. So rules discipline our behaviour, and then we know our rights and our duties and who's right, who's in the right and who's in the wrong. Very important. Then we've got very important things to protect, like health, or like the security and safety, and the peace and the environment, for example. These need rules to protect them. Essential things for us, our well-being, for living well together. So, these need rules. Lastly, there's limiting power. Authority enforces its authority with rules. So, if people in authority make rules, then they can control us in that way. But also, they must be controlled by rules, because they can't have unlimited power. In a democracy, we want the rules to be the highest authority, not the person. The sovereignty of the law is important. No one's above the law. Got a rule of law, we say in England. So rules limit the power of the authority, and that's very important. Just I'm a teacher, and I can tell students what to do, but I can't give somebody an interrogation every day and then just give them a low mark even if they do really well. There's rules I must obey, so for people's rights, people's not to be abused. So I have my powers limited. Certain things I can't do. Okay. Law is all the rules together in a society. If we look here, we can see all the rules and rules. There's a policewoman directing the traffic, or policeman directing the traffic. So the rule is to do what he tells you. Then you've got somebody stamping a ticket. You have to do that in when you get on a train, or you've got somebody stealing. So the rule is you've got to pay for something if you take it. In a shop, or you've got a right to protest. That's a rule. There's a protest there. So we can see that is law. When we study law, we study all these different laws, and all these different laws together is a judicial system. They form a system. And we have many systems in the world. It's not just Italian judicial system. There's an English judicial system which is different, and then there is a European judicial system which isn't different. We are part of it, in fact. But thinking about the English judicial system, so different. If Italy makes a law here, it can't be applied in England, and vice versa. The English system's so different. In England we have common law, and here there's written law. Common law is where the judges make the laws. Through their judgments they create principles which become law and must be respected. In Italy, it's not done. There is common law in Italy, some common law, but more where laws have not been made. Just the tradition creates the law. But in England, many judges can create laws in some areas of law, like commercial law, not in penal law, which is more serious, but in areas like commercial law, there's common law, or in the Constitution, the way the state operates is common law in England. So it's very different, and each system represents the character of the country. In England, defamation is not considered so serious. Defamation is when I say a lie about somebody else, and it's not true. And in England, it's not so serious, so it's a civil case. It's not. You can't go to prison. In Italy, it's very serious. It's a penal case, so you can go to prison in Italy for defamation. And the reason being, in Italy, the community is very important. So defamation would be an act against the community. It damages the community. In England, we're very independent, so the community is not so valued, and defamation is just private matter between two different citizens, not a public matter where you can go to prison. So every judicial system is different. If we look here in China, you've got here the monks protesting because they haven't got the rights, their rights. So and the police are trying to stop them protest, because in China you can't protest so openly. Or here in Ireland you can protest, so they're protesting for abortion. They want the right to have abortion, or no, these ones want the right not to have abortion. So, but you can protest in Ireland. So we can see how different some systems are. Norms also, or laws also change in time. So they change in place, in different places, but also over time. We make laws, and those become binding, vinculante, but then if another law is made after, later on, then the old laws become annulled. So they're abrogated, they're completely eliminated. So over time law changes, and over distance, different judicial systems are applied.